It's been 15 years since the first of the fifth-generation jet fighters graced the skies, and to date, the number of these jets in service remains so few. With this current global situation, having an aerial ace up your sleeve has never been more important. And with the reputation of the U.S. Air Force, it would not be such a surprise that they have already moved on to build sixth-generation aircraft, leaving the rest of the world to play catch-up. The capabilities that this next wave of aircraft brings into play will determine who exactly is the top dog in the skies, making unique features crucial for future air superiority. The important question then is, has the US passed the rest of the world by a decade and already built a sixth-generation fighter? Stay tuned as we unpack this in the course of this video. To maintain superiority, one has to be ahead of the game. In the words of former US President Theodore Roosevelt, "Speak softly and carry a big stick. You will go far." His style of foreign policy was focused on intelligent thought and being prepared, looking at potential issues well in advance of them happening, a proactive instead of reactive style of government. This philosophy was diligently followed even after Teddy Roosevelt's tenure ended. It was concisely coined the Big Stick ideology, which is that possessing the superior military operation forced every other country to be alert and attentive. Bringing the biggest stick to the fight, in this case unrivaled firepower on the land, sea, and in the air, turned the US military into the relatively unrivaled superpower around the world for the better part of a whole century. This is a country that rarely ever bluffs, and when they do strike, they strike hard. When you have the biggest stick, you ultimately have the final say, and the new sixth-generation jet fighter would be the biggest stick of them all. What makes the preceding fifth-generation craft so impressive are some very simple conceptual features executed brilliantly. The criteria that this class of planes must meet includes exceptional speed, agility, and maneuverability, while not compromising on top-notch stealth from enemy radar and weapon systems. The craft must have the most advanced sensor array system for gathering information, as well as network-enabled software to allow it to process the data and make adjustments while on the mission. In essence, the fifth generation is a spy plane armed to the teeth, so it's unafraid to face enemy fire and come out victorious every time. The sixth generation will no doubt be more impressive and technologically advanced than these impressive crafts, but in what ways? Essentially, the sixth gen must have a performance that is a quantum leap ahead of the existing fifth gen. Looking at the introduction of the F-22 Raptor, an impressive fifth-generation fighter jet in live combat simulations, it was unable to be bested by the F-15, a very capable craft on its own that the F-22 was designed to be a direct replacement for. The difference between the two jets was so obvious and pronounced that it was clear that the F-22 was not only the best jet fighter ever produced, but also one that even its immediate predecessor could not get one target lock. Following this same philosophy, a true sixth-gen fighter should be able to make the F-22, F-35, and J-20 look basic, running circles around them in live combat exercises and war games. These are lofty ambitions, no doubt, as these planes are the current giants of air combat. To achieve this goal, the jets would have to be the stuff of science fiction. Most expect that the jet would be so ultra-futuristic that it would more closely resemble a UFO or spacecraft than anything else we have seen before. For starters, it would have to be much stealthier than its predecessors in order to get close enough to enemy aircraft, as well as ground-level targets to deliver its payload. A sixth-gen fighter jet may also be able to change its shape mid-flight, effectively morphing its exterior skin and fuselage to decrease drag and hide its profile as it accelerates. The engine of this generation of fighters would also have to be able to operate in modes that can support the craft going into subsonic, supersonic, and even hypersonic speeds and cruise. The weapon systems to be fitted onto these vehicles would most likely be directed energy weapons. These lasers may seem like a concept straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster, but following recent trends, it's very likely that high-powered microwaves and directed laser beams may be the best way to defend against enemy fire. These energy weapons will be able to fire at enemy crafts and vessels alike from very long distances. Why outrun them when you can destroy the enemy vehicles before they even get close enough? These long-range weapons may even double for close-range weapons themselves, removing the need for any machine guns to take out enemy fighters during up-close combat. These weapons will also be able to shut down enemy jets and cause them to crash. This may even mean that 6th Gen jets will not need to carry any air-to-air explosive payloads. Microelectronic technology may turn the entirety of the jet's skin into one large integrated sensor array, making those mounted radars obsolete. The system may even have the ability to tune in to the exact frequency of sonar emitted by enemy detectors and cancel it out. This will prevent the waves from bouncing off the craft and giving away its position, thereby making it practically invisible to the adversary's defenses. This new generation of crafts may not even need to be manned, as it could be run remotely by an operator safe in a bunker. But before these unreal crafts fly our skies, the 5th generation fighters are still the most advanced and graceful planes man has yet known. So far, the F-22 Raptor, F-35 Lightning II, and the Chengdu J-20 Mighty Dragon are the most advanced crafts in active service. That 2 of these 3 beasts of the air are owned exclusively by the United States Army is a testament to their military superiority over other countries of the world. Other countries except China, to whom the credit for the Mighty Dragon is given, have either abandoned their design programs for 5th generation fighters completely or are so deep in research and development that actual construction will not occur for at least another decade. Understandably, any information concerning the US and its 6th generation fighter crafts program are currently treated as highly classified, and as such, there is no laid down hard set of features that will categorize a newly commissioned jet as distinctively 6th generation in nature. Nonetheless, accurate assumptions can be made by looking at other 6th generation fighters in development, as well as piecing together clues accidentally leaked by the US military. Using these, we can confirm that other countries are taking the cue from the United States and moving on to build their brand of 6th generation fighter aircraft. Currently under development and displayed in a show in Paris was a jet from a program resulting from a collaboration between France, Germany, and Spain. Its characteristic supersonic speed, body design to achieve stealth, and dual side-by-side engines are what identify the jet as 6th gen. The Tempest concept by the UK, set to replace the aging Typhoon fleet, is decidedly similar to designs of proposed 6th gen fighters. The design brief shows hypersonic speed, targeted energy weapons, and the ability to release and control the drone swarm, and will make it eerily similar to the SR-71 Blackbird while featuring superior firepower. The first word of the commencement of development of 6th gen jet technologies necessary for future air dominance was made in 2009 by Michael B. Donnelly, the then Secretary of the U.S. Army Air Force. Surprisingly, this announcement was made during the development phase of the F-35, proving the constant forward-looking orientation of the U.S. Army, and in fact, the entire government itself. By 2020, the government confirmed that the new fighter jet had already flown, and the plane's digital systems had already been tested. The project was later termed NGAD for Next Generation Air Dominance, and the only information forthcoming from the Army and its cohorts is that the project is progressing according to schedule. However, a video surfacing on TikTok of footage from Lockheed Martin's secretive Helendale radar cross-section showed a stealthy fighter jet-like shape that many have described resembling an upside-down stealth aircraft, similar to concept art released by defense manufacturers. Concerning this video, manufacturers have, in a somewhat cryptic way, declined to comment. This manufacturing of the new generation of fighters is a collaborative effort of 3 aerospace defense contractors: Boeing, Northrop Grumman, and Lockheed Martin, and added forces of the notorious Skunk Works division, responsible for pushing out their T-7A training jets in less than a year of design and construction, an astonishingly short time frame. Compared to the F-35 Lightning that was launched and commissioned after 10 years of vigorous manufacturing efforts, the first NGAD prototype flight took to the skies in a tenth of that time. Therefore, while total information concerning this program is not readily available, it would do well to keep your eyes on the skies, as the first fully equipped 6th gen jet fighter may be up in the air before you think. What do you think is the most incredible attribute of the 6th gen fighter jet? Also, when will you be looking forward to seeing the first ones in service? Leave a comment below and let us know what you think.